When Jimmy called, Annie casually replied, "Here we go again, not wanting in this pointless feud." Then Jimmy, like a pro-comedian, made her laugh heartily and proposed to meet up. Annie thought, if I refuse, he won't give up easily. So at 5 o'clock, Lulu was at Clark, and with that, she said goodbye. Jimmy was eager and had brainstormed 1,000 date ideas, but the moment he saw Anna's sparkling eyes, all his plans vanished into thin air. Only her teasing made him realize, so this is what her little jokes look like. But her fingers trembled slightly, and Jimmy keenly noticed the change. This occasional tremor was just a classic signal of someone with Parkinson's getting anxious. Anna's words instantly pricked his heart, revealing the truth. "Let's go." "Excuse me, are you preparing to shut the door? Do you want to be late here?" Anna's enthusiasm was almost unbelievable to Jimmy. From that point on, Annie kept inviting Jimmy out, and the two of them flew out of the little house like superhero partners. Such scenes made even the usually thick-skinned Jimmy blush. Whenever she had time, she'd bring delicious food to Annie, reveling in their little romantic escape. But Annie laid down the law. They could only chit-chat, keeping emotions out of it, because she had weathered a few storms in relationships. After all, those guys bolted once they learned about her condition, so Annie no longer yearned for lasting love. She just wanted to live gracefully, maintaining her dignity, while the ever-free-spirited Jimmy happily accepted the terms. She thought that such a casual relationship was her VIP pass, but as time passed, Jimmy began to feel subtle changes within her heart. Whenever she received a message from Annie, a wondrous joy bubbled within her, and no matter where she was, she longed to hear that familiar voice. Anna's brow furrowed as Jimmy's sincere feelings caught her off guard, causing her to hang up decisively. Because at that moment, even opening a simple snack felt like a Herculean task. She knew few would bear her burden in reality, especially a charmer like Jimmy, so when he came next time, Annie told him, "This is where our relationship ends," burying her unspoken feelings deep. Jimmy thought she was joking and left casually, but Annie clearly remembered how Jimmy's words had struck a chord in her heart when they first met. The next day, Jimmy used her usual tricks to throw away the competitor's meds. However, a surprise visit from a guy shocked Jimmy, sending her emotions on a roller coaster ride. To make matters worse, she was Anna's ex-boyfriend, but Jimmy hardly batted an eye. She thought it was just jealousy, unaware that Annie was plotting an escape to forget someone. "You first had to leave the city." Subtitles. So Annie made up her mind to embark on a solitary journey by bus, and just as she was getting ready to step onto the bus, she noticed Jimmy hurrying over towards her. Watching Annie walk away, a wave of loss hit Jimmy. In the past, she would have turned and left immediately, but this time felt different. So, the night before Annie's return, Jimmy drove over early to wait for her, filled with thoughts and fantasies about Annie, until longing lured her into it. The next day, when Annie stepped off the bus, exhausted, she was pleasantly surprised to find Jimmy waiting for her. The morning chill was instantly dispelled by Jimmy's warmth, and the distance between them quietly closed, as if the red thread of fate had tightened. Subtitles. "Did you stay here all through the night?" "Yes, until you showed up." Oh my gosh, sincerity always melts hearts, and soon Jimmy found her way into Anna's heart, with their romance heating up rapidly in the haze. They not only entered each other's lives, but also subtly altered their destinies. With Anna's support, Jimmy seemed infused with endless energy. At work, she was unstoppable, like a superhero, becoming the top sales star with customers lining up daily just to see her. Everything in her life was smoother than ever. That's the magic of love, isn't it? It sneaks upon you, and by the time you realize it, you've already been deeply transformed. The latest trend in gemstone jewelry became their hot topic, and in the sunshine, they were wrapped in a tapestry of love and happiness. Annie cherished every moment with Jimmy, always capturing those happy snapshots. Sometimes her sneaky photography would even make Jimmy blush, and as the days turned into weeks, Their tabletop became piled high with photos, and soon Anna's artwork made its way to an exhibition. They leaned on each other, working together as if the chaos of the outside world couldn't touch their piece. Yet on one cozy evening, while sharing her achievements with family, Jimmy accidentally exaggerated her results, leaving Annie feeling puzzled. Subtitles. Annie was at a loss as to why Jimmy would tell lies to his family, and a vague sense of doubt gradually arose in her heart. Then Annie asked her to name 4 good things about herself, leaving Jimmy momentarily stunned, unsure how to respond. After all, she had never received acknowledgement from anyone, wandering like a headless chicken. However, Annie reassured her confidently, saying, "Sweetheart, every woman deserves love." In that moment, Jimmy, filled with confidence and pride, determined not to let those beautiful women sway her. Because her heart had found a home, Jimmy rushed back to Anna's side whenever the parties concluded. As they exchanged a few words, Jimmy suddenly felt a tightness in her chest, struggling to breathe. "You know what? Just take a breath. Don't worry, I love you." What? OMG, Jimmy had never said those 3 words to anyone before. So when she sincerely said it, it felt like confessing to a good-natured boy for the first time, trembling all over from nerves. But this wholehearted confession filled her with a happiness she had never experienced before. But unexpected accidents tend to strike during the happiest moments. Anna's Parkinson's disease gradually worsened, causing her hands to become unsteady.